morning, Year 2. Hopefully you got on okay yesterday with the number facts challenge that I gave you, where we were revising what we'd learnt about ways to make 10 to help us to make ways of making 20. So today what we're going to do is we're going to recap on that, but then we're going to see how it helps us with even bigger numbers and see if you can spot a pattern. Okay, so the first thing we did then yesterday was we had a 10 frame and we were looking at the 10 frame to find different ways of making 10. So the first one we've got here at the moment, they're all blue. So we'll go back to those apples again. We've got 10 bad apples, haven't we? We've got no good apples. So there's 0 good apples plus 10 bad apples. And that means that we have got 10 apples altogether in the bag. Right, so let's write that on the board. So I've got 0 good apples plus 10 bad apples, and that equals 10 altogether. So because we know that, 0 and what would make 20? Well, let's see, because we need to have 20 with our 10 frame first of all, don't we? So I'm going to need another 10 frame because 10 and 10 is 20. So if I pop this together like that, so I've got my 20, look. We've still not got any good apples, but now we've got 20 bad apples because we've got 10 and another 10. So I'm going to write that one along here. Because we know that 0 add 10 is 10, we know that 0 add 20 is 20. Okay? So what about then if we were making 30? What would I need to do then? Well, I've got one 10. And I've got another 10, so that's 20. So what would I need to make 30? I need another 10, don't I? So I'm going to get another 10 frame and I'm going to pop that onto there. So now I've still got 0 good apples, but I've got 10, 20, 30 bad apples. So I'm going to put on here 0 add 30 equals 30 still, okay? Right, so then what we did before is we then started to explore all the different ways of making 10 and all the different ways of making 20. So I'm going to work systematically by turning one of these over in the 10 frame. So now, how many good apples do I have? Okay, so I have the one part that is the one good apple. So that means that I've got 9 bad apples, and altogether we still have 10 because we've still filled up all of the spaces on the 10 frame. So I'm going to write down on here 1 add 9 also equals 10. So what if I was making 20 then? I've got 1 good apple and I've got 9 bad apples, but how many bad apples would I have if I had 20 in the bag altogether? Well, I've got 10 here, haven't I? So I'm going to put on another 10 to help us because 10 and 10 is 20. So then we can see that we've got our 1 good apple and there's our 9 bad apples, and all we've got to do is add another 10. That's how we work out the ways of making 20. We can use 10 to help us. So we've got 9 and then we add 10 more. And 10 and 9, if we use our place value, we know that 10 and 9 ones is 19, isn't it? So we've got 1 add 19 equals 20. 1 add 19 equals 20. And if you look really carefully, children, at the pattern on there, you can see it because you've got 1, 1, and you've got 9 ones. Altogether, that equals 10. On this side, we've got 1, 1. We've still got our 9 ones as well, but we've added that 10 on as well, haven't we? And that's where I said that place value can really help us. So if we've got 1 and 19 made 20, what if we had 30 apples in the bag then and we had 1 good apple? How many bad apples would there be then? Well, we'll get our 10 frame again. I'll have that on like this, look. So then I've still got my 1 good apple, I've got my 9 bad apples plus another 10 plus another 10. So that's 10, 20 and 9 ones. So what's that all together? 29. Right, so let's write that down. So we've got 1 good apple plus 29 bad apples, and that will equal 30. Okay, so again, look, we've got our 1 1 and 9 ones, which makes a 10. Then on this side, we've still got our 1 1 and 9 ones, which makes 10, but plus another 10, because we added another 10 on our 10 frame. And on this side, it's the same again, look, because we've got our 1 1 and we've got our 9 ones, but because we added another 10 on to make 30, we've now got 2 10s as well as this 10 here made by the ones. So if I do this again, look, on here, in fact, if I take those off to begin with, I'm going to turn another one of these over because we're being systematic mathematicians. I've now got 2 good apples and I've got 8 bad apples. So 2 add 10 equals 8. Okay, so I'm going to put that on here. So 2 add 8 equals 10. Okay, so then if I want to find out then, if I've got this 2 part, these 2 good apples, but I have 20 apples in the bag altogether, then how many bad apples will I have this time? So again, I'm going to get my 10 frame and put it on, because now we've got a 10 and a 10, which equals 20 altogether. So we've got our 2 good apples, then the 8 that made 10 bad apples, but then we've added another 10 because we wanted to find out how many to get to 20. So now we've got 10 and 8 bad apples. So 10 and 8, 10 add 8 ones. Using our place value, we should know straight away that that is 18, isn't it? So 2 add 18 equals 20. So let's write that down on here. Add 18 equals 20. Okay, so I'll show you that pattern again here, look. So you've got 2 ones and you've got 8 ones, and altogether that makes 110, doesn't it? Okay, then when you look at the way in which we've made 20 here, we've got 2 ones and we've got 8 ones, and altogether that makes the 10, doesn't it? But then we also, so there you go, I'll show you that. So we've got your 2 and your 8 that makes 10, like I've just done there. But then we also added another 10 on so that we had 20, because 10 and 10 is 20. And that 10 is just there, look, in the 18. So what do you think then, if we've got 2 good apples and we want to have 30 apples altogether, how many bad apples are going to be in the bag? So what we need to do now is to get another 10, don't we? Because 20 add another 10 is 30. So let's have a look. We've still got our 2 good apples, then we've got our 8 bad apples, and another 10 to get to 20, and another 10 to get to 30. So what have we got? 10, 20 and 8. So 10, 20 and 8 ones. What is that altogether? Well, 20 and 8 is 28 when we use our place value. So I'm going to put that on here, look, 2 add 28 equals 30. And again, we can see that pattern, look, because there are your 2 ones, there are your 8 ones, and that makes a 10, doesn't it? And then we don't just have 1 10 anymore, because we added another 10 on, didn't we, when we were making 30. So now we've got 2 10s. So 2 10s plus another 10 is 30. So what I want you to try and do now, children, I'm going to give you a bit of a challenge. And your challenge is to see if you can make me a poster. And on your poster, I would like to see all the different addition facts that you can make up to 100 using what you know about 10. So just what we've done here, look, with to 10 to 20 to 30, can you also keep going and do it for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100? If you don't get that far, don't worry, maybe you could have a go to 50. If you're still not sure of all of your number facts to 10 or to 20, then Miss Eckett would really like you to practice those first. But if you really want to do this challenge, then that's what I would really like to see. And I think I'm going to give a wow dojo for children who send me in a poster for this. And then if you would like a further challenge for a further wow dojo, I wonder if you could then find all of the corresponding subtraction facts to go with it. So just to give you a reminder, if I've got here to 10, I've got my 2 ones, my 2 good apples, and my 8 bad apples. Okay, then we've got 2 parts, haven't we, that make that 10. We've got the 2 part and we've got the 8 part. So if I take one of those parts away, it's going to leave me with the other part. So the whole is 10, take away the 2 part, leaves me with the 8 part. I've got my 10, I take away the 8 part, and it leaves me with the 2 part. Okay, remember that. Remember that these number facts are made up of 2 parts, and if you take one of those parts away, you're left with the other part, and that will help you. Okay, so good luck everybody. I look forward to seeing your fabulous maths work on the dojo. Bye-bye.